Hey everybody, it's Andy here over here with My Side of the Fence podcast. I am here this week with a local legend, Jimmy. Jimmy Lunsford.
About a legend. I've been here a long time.
So Jimmy, we always start off with a version of, how did you get here? From today. Where'd you grow up?
Well, it all started in Washington, D.C. That's where I was born. My parents both grew up in D.C. Loved it. They lived over in Palisades.
Really?
Yeah. Right off MacArthur Boulevard. I remember it well. Even though I was young by the time they finally moved out. But I was born at GW Hospital, lived in D.C. Then we went to Wheaton, Maryland, and that's my first memories of childhood. Having friends, playing in the creek and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And from there, my mom and dad were young, they're young parents.
Yeah.
And they heard of Manassas.
God, I can't imagine.
And well, as a matter of fact, they almost bought in Georgetown South.
Oh, wow.
When it first was built, I think in 1963.
Right.
Because I think, and you might correct me if I'm wrong, I think Georgetown South was one of the first townhouse concepts in the nation.
It was definitely early.
Yeah.
And 800 units. I don't know if they originally built that many, but they built a ton.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot for the city to absorb.
Yep. So they found Sudley. They were building townhouses over there, and they bought a house in Sudley. And it was just a phenomenal place to grow up. Because it was all young families.
Yeah.
Kids everywhere. I mean, I had so many friends playing football and baseball and going to Bull Run Creek and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. Well, you went to Stonewall, I went to Osborne.
Yeah.
But through like different clubs and whatnot. I had definitely had friends that are in Stonewall.
Oh, I was talking to our friend Rich before I came over here and talked about what I thought was Stonewall back then and Osborne were very tight. A lot of friends in each school because we all grew up playing baseball and football and soccer, in leagues that were around here. And when we grew up, middle school, then high school, then you had the parties, all the Stonewall kids knew kids over at Osborne. We went to their parties. They came over to our parties. But I ended up going to Stonewall High School and pretty much been in Manassas my whole life, except for I had a 6-year stint in Culpeper.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember.
Yep. During the downturn in housing, we could get houses relatively cheap in 2006, 7, 8.
Yeah.
I bought a 5-acre place out in Culpeper with a pond and a dock, and you could swim in the pond. My kids would swim in it. I had friends who'd always ask, "Hey, can I come over and fish it?" They fished it. It was great. But with Susie and I, this was our second marriage.
Right.
And everything was happening in Manassas. And it was so much back and forth and back and forth and back and forth that we finally said, you know what, we got to go back. And our realtor at the time was looking for places, and we found a place on Robnell Avenue. And I remember that day when we pulled up, I looked at the house and said, I've been here before.
That was the Agidi's house,
It was Victor Agidi's house, the principal of Osborne. And in 1983, I took his daughter, Nina, to the prom.
Huh.
It's such a small world.
Yeah.
It's such a small world.
Oh, yeah.
So
you still live there?
Yeah, we love it. We love it. One of the best things about it was location, because Susie and I walked to everything.
Yeah.
The parades, the fireworks, the all the different festivals and such.
Yeah.
Last week we walked to the Veterans Parade.
Right.
And it's just nice because it's like a 7 or 8 minute walk.
Yeah.
We're right where we want to be.
Living in Old Town is super convenient. For all that stuff that happens there. It's super convenient. I do love that part of it. I mean, the worst part of Manassas is Liberia.
Oh,
because the traffic is just unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, we have our own little gem right here.
Yeah.
And I know you live in Old Town.
Yep.
I know your folks lived in Old Town.
Yep.
And it's a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Walking up to First Fridays
This Friday's First Friday, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I forget what the theme is, but then, of course, the following First Friday is when Santa Claus comes in on the train.
Right. That's a mob scene, man.
It is. And it's historically now, for the last probably 10 years, Susie's always the first person in line to see Santa. And we've become very, very good friends with Joe Nelson, who plays Santa. And as a matter of fact, Mark Olson invited us over. They did a commercial shoot over at Flower Gallery last night. And they invited Susie and I to come over and watch. So that's always fun.
That's cool. I mean, HMI is, HMI is not really in like the strategic thinking area much anymore, like Lola Harris was on it. Their mission is morphed to events.
Yeah.
And the events are First Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I know, both you and I served on HMI a few years ago. I liked it. The only reason I came off is because you have to. You could serve 2 consecutive terms and then they asked you to leave for at least a year. So, I've talked to Mark over the last couple of years and he said something about maybe coming back. And, I would definitely consider that. I was on the beautification committee with your mom. Yeah. Enjoyed that. And we actually got some stuff done.
Yeah.
That helped beautify the community.
Is HMI, is that a council appointment?
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe, you know what? I don't know, Andy. It might not be.
I sincerely doubt that I would make it through that.
Yeah, because I know on beautification committee, I went in front of 3 folks from council.
Yeah, the personnel committee. I don't know if they still have. I think they did away with most of their committees.
But HMI, I can't remember if I was interviewed by the council or if I was just invited and voted on, by the other members.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. But in any event, they still do good work. I'm glad that we have them to manage the First Friday thing. And, it'll be interesting to see what they sort of morph into in the future.
Yeah. And, our good friend Mark Olson is the chair of HMI. And I think he does a fantastic job.
I've hit him up a couple of times to come on the podcast. He won't do it.
No, we'll nudge him a little bit. I think he can come over and do this.
I think he'd do great at it.
But because I consider him, a lot of people jokingly call me Mr. Manassas, but I really do believe Mark is. He's on everything.
Mark is everywhere all at once.
Well, he's even he's president of the ballet.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. Yeah. And that, of course, is near and dear to my heart. I love it. This is my 13th season as an actor.
Damn.
For the ballet. And we're full steam ahead with Nutcracker right now.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's opening night, believe it or not, is 6 weeks from tomorrow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild that you're involved in that. It really is. It surprises people.
It does, because I never did anything like that. When I was in high school, I never took drama class or anything like that. And what happened was Steve Hirsch and Nancy, his mom, when she was alive, they had a party, like 2012, I think it was. And I met Amy and Mark at the party. Susie and I did. And Amy always said, or she came up to us and said, "Hey, would you like to be an adult extra in the ballet? We always need adults to do these things." And we said, "Sure, we'll do that." So the first time we did it, maybe the first couple of years, I considered us to be like trees, on stage. And we were on stage, but we didn't do a whole lot.
Right.
But then it evolved into both Susie and I would play the biggest non-dancing roles.
Right.
King or Duke for me, or Susie played a queen or a princess one time. I think one of my favorite parts, other than Nutcracker, because I'm a Christmas kid, I've always loved the Nutcracker. As a matter of fact, the first time I went to see the Manassas Ballet, I went more for the live music.
Oh,
they have the orchestra. It's great. Yeah. It's great. But my favorite part was we played the Capulets in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, is that more than Drunk Uncle?
I don't know. Drunk Uncle, and now it's evolved into the grandfather since I've graded a little bit. That's always fun. It's always fun. Of course, I play Mother G in the second act, so I have to dress up.
It looks like fun.
Oh, it is. Dress up as a woman. And to say to our audience that part historically throughout the world of ballet is always played by a man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and they want you to know it's a man. So usually, I keep my beard or, goatee or whatever. and go at it like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you. When Aaron was younger, we would go to the Hilton, or where I guess it was at Metz before.
Yes.
To see the Nutcracker, and once I moved to the Hilton, it's astonishing. It's so well done. You know, we've been to DC to see the Nutcracker there, and someplace in Roanoke and someplace in Richmond, and the production in Richmond was pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was an expensive show, but it was pretty damn good. But you know, the Manassas Ballet folks, they do an incredible job with Nutcracker.
Oh, they do.
The rest of the stuff I haven't seen as much.
They really do, and I always tell people when I go to my work networking events, you know, people, you know, we talk, and a lot of the people now know who I do, you know, with the ballet, and a bunch of them come now. But the Hilton is such a hidden gem.
Yep.
And I tell people, you know, years ago, like maybe 5 years ago, there's a publication, and I can't remember the name of the publication, but they rank college things, you know, the best football fields, the best basketball arenas. Well, they did one on college theaters, and that was ranked number 6 in the country.
I mean, it is incredible.
Oh, it is. And I sat on that stage one time with Igor, who at the time was the ballet master for Manassas Ballet. And I asked him, I said, Igor, what do you think of this place? He goes, Jimmy, I'll tell you, I've never danced anywhere better.
It's amazing.
And he's been, I mean, all over the world.
Right.
I mean, the acoustics, the electronics, just the beauty of the place is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it was, well, I was on council when we were voting on whether to do that or not. And I think the guy that led the effort was a guy named Bill Reeder.
Mm-hmm.
And Reeder, he was a force of nature. He really was. You know, he was an opera singer who spent, I don't know, some significant portion of his adult life as a professional singer in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I met him was, I was trying to get, what was it, Rex Park Place, Did Lake. I was trying to get Did Lake to help out this nonprofit school for autistic children.
Mm-hmm.
We needed some supervision. And, you know, Rex said, look, you can talk to my exec board, but I'm not making this decision. They're making it. And I went and talked to them, and they seemed receptive, but they said, look, but we're not going to do anything unless you're like 110% committed. We're just not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to agree to these 3 or 4 things. And, you know, I was a little irritated because I thought, look, it's so obvious that they can pitch in. And I took the list home, and I was thinking about it, and I thought, like, damn, man, these guys are right. You know, they're exactly right. I mean, we can't just like, well, we'll give you data and you tell us what you think. No, they had to run that operation.
Right.
And so that was the first time I met Bill. And then when I was on city council, I was involved in like the initial funding and all that kind of stuff. I was just tangentially involved, but I had to go to the city council for a vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was the tie-breaking vote because I thought it was too expensive, but like in talking to Bill and other people, I thought like it's a stretch, but and this is a vision thing, and I think we should do it. So, well,
I'm glad you did.
So am I. That place is magnificent.
I love it. I love, you know, Andy, I love being on stage. I you know, some people, well, I've talked to Rich, our buddy Rich, about this. And Rich said to me one time, he goes, you know, Jimmy, I can get up in front of 2,000 lawyers with 5 minutes notice and make a speech, but I could never, ever do what you do on stage. I just wouldn't be able to do it.
Same.
And to me, I've never, I can honestly say I've never had any kind of stage fright. I equate it to the butterflies you get before playing, like, so I played soccer my whole life.
Right.
You know, before that curtain comes up and you can hear the orchestra tuning and all that. Yeah. It's just such a cool rush. I mean, I could do what Mark Wolf does. I can give the speech at the intermission. Right, yeah.
I don't have that in me. I just don't. I couldn't be a performer like that. Like Rich, I've spoken at pretty large conventions, 6, 8, 10,000 people, and it probably on my city council experience, it just doesn't bother me.
Right.
But I can't. I'm with Rich. I can't do what you do.
Well, the thing about ballet that makes it a little bit easier being an actor is you don't learn any lines. You mimic everything. You have to mimic it big, so the audience knows what you're doing or asking for or whatever. But no, it's a great thing to have. The fact that we have a professional ballet in Manassas
and for a long time.
Yeah.
And people from Manassas Ballet have gone to start their own place.
Oh yeah, several.
It's. I mean, now if I was a newcomer to Manassas, it wouldn't shock me all that much. But it would shock me to find out it's been here 25 years.
Yeah.
Or however long it is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that shopping center where it's at, that's been there since the 60s. And you would not expect, I mean, if I was walking past there and I was new here, I'd be like, hold on, there's a ballet school here?
And a professional ballet. And those kids, I can call them kids, they're in their 20s mostly. They're from all over the world.
Yeah. I've met some of them that are from Eastern Europe, I think.
Oh, some of my best friends. I mean, every Sunday night, Ruslan and Vadim and Renat. Vadim's Russian, Ruslan's from Kazakhstan, Renat's from Kyrgyzstan. Some of my best friends now. We come over every Sunday, shoot pool, and smoke cigars.
Is that right?
Yeah, every Sunday.
That's good. So what else is going on? Where do you what do you do for work?
I'm a business development manager for I would say, very successful company now. When I started with Mueller Inc., we were just a small, we did like bond release work. We did erosion control for all the big guys like Hazel and SW Rogers and such. But we've grown into Mueller Companies, which is 5 separate companies. And we're doing everything from full site development for some of these data centers. We have an arm now that does public-private partnerships that can do hundreds of millions of dollars at a time.
Right.
I work from home, fully remote. Always been like that, even before COVID. I always worked from home. And my job basically is to travel the state and talk to folks, mostly municipalities, about the different cooperative contracts we have to offer. And now the P3, the public-private partnership. And we're really starting to roll with that. Matter of fact, before I came over here, I had lunch with the gal from Prince William County. He's their economic development person.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, talking about things we can do with the county. And then with our smaller contracts, the rideable ones, we work for like 23 municipalities now, like 15 higher ed. Do a lot of work for New England Virginia Community College, George Mason. On the other side, City of Manassas, Prince William County. And we do a lot for what I call the country counties, the counties west of here. Well, they're the ones that don't have the big money, like Loudon and Fairfax.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of success doing that. So I get to do that, get to go to a lot of these networking events at night with the different associations we belong to, made tons of friends in that part of it. So it's been great. I love my job.
Yeah.
And I can see myself working probably till I'm 70.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, people ask me, Jimmy, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, I like what I do.
Yeah.
And it's not physically hard.
Right.
And I get to do like what I did today, take people to lunch. I get to, sponsor golf tournaments, playing golf tournaments. It's a lot of fun because I'm definitely an extrovert.
I would say.
And I like being around people and talking to people.
I don't mind it, but I'm a nerd, right? So I doing a lot of people stuff takes it out of me. I can't do tons of it. Like those events that like you go to at night, I'm zero chance. I just don't like if there's a chamber thing at like 5, I can go to that.
Right.
And I enjoy talking to people, but it's just not something that I'm passionate about. I'm not an extrovert.
I love it.
Yeah,
when I first started, the owner of our company said, Jimmy, we want you to go to probably 10 to 12 a month, which that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's at least 2 a week, 3 a week.
That is a lot.
And we've drawn back a little bit, which I'm fine with. But God, the places I get to go to with some of these things, like Christmas party season's coming. and just some of the venues. I'm on 2 different committees for 2 different associations. They're both like the marketing committee. And one of my favorite events of the year is the Christmas party for the Washington Building Congress, and it's at Congressional Country Club.
Oh, wow.
And it is just off the hook. It's usually around 600 people.
Damn.
And I mean, the food, the drink, just everybody dresses to the nines. I mean, it's a really cool event.
Yeah.
And being a committee member, I get to go early they have like a private thing before the main deal starts. And it's just a really cool experience.
That's neat. Yeah, we about as far as we go is chamber functions. That's about it.
Right.
And even that, I mean, chamber functions, I enjoy the people I meet there, but the Prince William Chamber has grown a lot and it's changed a lot.
Well, there used to be 2 chambers, right? There was the city chamber.
Yeah. Well, basically, and the other chamber was down the other end of the county.
Right.
And the city chamber was almost uniformly small business. And now it's, they serve the entire county now. And, there's some big players in the city and the county. And so it's not as small business oriented, I don't feel like. But that's pretty much the events we go to. And we don't do a ton of them, but there's so many committees they have.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get asked all the time to be on different things. You can only do but so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, those events I really enjoy. I'm very, very active on LinkedIn. Very active on LinkedIn.
I know you are.
I have this thing I've been doing for about 3 years now. It's called Where's Jimmy?
I've seen that.
And I don't know why I started it. I was in Bowling Green, Virginia, which is down in Caroline County.
Yeah.
And I met with, the director of public works, whoever like the parks guy was, the school maintenance.
Right.
And I just walked to the middle of the one light intersection in that town and took a selfie. And then, of course, I took some pictures like the couple restaurants and a couple little mom and pop hardware stores. And I just basically on LinkedIn just said, I'm on my travels through the Commonwealth, got to talk to some fine folks from this municipality. But judging from the pictures, where am I? Where do you think I am?
Right.
I didn't think anything of it until I got like 4,000 views.
Right.
And I said, wow, this could be pretty cool. So I do it like once or twice a week, and people have told me, Jimmy, we wait for those LinkedIn posts of yours to guess where you're at. And these are all small little towns that I never would have gone to. You go down 95, you go down 81, you go down 29. You see the signs for these little places like Standardsville and Bowling Green.
Yeah.
And places like that. But now I'm going there because that's usually where the county seat is in these little towns.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're great.
Yeah, I love going down 29 south of Charlottesville.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's not a hell of a lot there, but there's some interesting little spots. Yeah, I've started dipping my toe back into LinkedIn a little bit.
I've noticed. I've commented and liked on some of your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I ever had an affinity for LinkedIn, but there are a lot of people on there.
Oh, heck yeah. And you know what, Andy? It's such a good tool because every post I do, where it's the Where's Jimmy post, I'm tagging my company and I'm hashtagging all the different services we offer.
Oh, right.
And I would say on average, I get anywhere between 1,500 to 4,500 views every time I do it.
That's a lot.
And I've had some high-powered business development folks around the D.C. metro area come up to me and say, that was brilliant.
I mean, if it works, right?
Oh, yeah, and we've gotten lots of jobs. People will message me, hey, I saw your LinkedIn post, and I didn't know you all did hydro excavation or full turkey site development. Let's talk. I have a job. I'm going to send you the plans. And it's really worked out well. And my owner, Dave Mueller, is 1,000% on board. He loves that I do this stuff.
Huh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. So what do you think, Who do you think's going to win tonight?
For the election?
Yeah.
You know, I hope Winston Sears wins. I'm sort of optimistic because they brought Obama in to Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that the polling that you see on the newscast is tilted one way. But when you bring Obama in, I think that tells me that they're worried.
Oh, I mean, I could see it. I think that whole, just talking straight politics, right? No matter who you support.
Sure.
I do not know why Spanberger did not throw that guy overboard.
That was shocking. And when I walk around Old Town or ride my bike, I try to ride my bike a few times a week. I've seen a few signs where you have the 3 candidates, and those people have taken duct tape.
Marking him out. Yeah.
And marking him out.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think if she would have thrown him overboard,
it would have helped her
a lot.
It would have helped her
a lot. I mean, I'm not talking like 10-point difference. It's not that, but it would have taken it pretty much out of the question.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, the debate was just kind of a mess. It wasn't well moderated.
Right.
But I think it would have. She took some heat for that.
Oh yeah, and I think Senator Warner came out and even said,
"Yeah,
this is not cool.
No,
and we don't condone this kind of stuff."
No, I mean, what that guy, those text messages was appalling.
Yeah,
I want to shoot my opponent and watch him have his children watch him die or something.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And the local races, those are constitutional offices. Most people don't even know what they do.
I know. The one thing about Manassas that I don't like is I do not think that the treasurer and the commissioner of revenue should be voted on.
I agree.
I think those are positions where they should be hired on their merit. Period. Yeah. That's just me.
I don't disagree.
And I have no problems with the people that are in those positions now. Right. They're both nice people.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem whatsoever.
I've known Tim still.
Yeah, Tim's a good dude. He's a great guy, and I knew Patricia because she worked at the ballet for a little while.
Right.
And no, they're both good people, but I just think those positions should be.
They're pretty technical positions.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be political, probably.
I mean, I agree.
I don't have a problem with that. But then we have more. Don't we have more council elections next year? There's an election every 20 minutes.
I know. Virginia is one of those states. I think we have an election every year.
Probably.
Because you have the presidential election every 4. You have Congress and Senate every 2. But then they mix in, like this year, you have the governor.
Yeah.
And just a couple of delegates and Senate and all that kind of stuff. And then our local, treasurer and commissioner of revenue. But it's every year. And, I was talking to Susie the other day, and we were riding around, and I just hate all the political signs. You go, especially by the Prince William, the annex.
Yeah.
Where you go to vote if you're a county. It's great. There's like 1,000 signs there. How many signs do you need? That's not
going to they should just allow one per candidate.
Yeah, and then all the text messages you get.
That's annoying.
And that's even from the people I support. I stop, and I do. I hit delete, report junk, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to get. So I'm so glad that this is over tonight. Yeah. Hopefully, it's over tonight. It's not a
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rick Hepburn, who he's actually a client of mine. His family's company is a client of my IT consulting firm. He might be the chair of the Electoral Commission.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's on it anyway. I think he's the chair. But, that's a serious technical job that they do. And, it seems like, I guess I knew at some level, like that early voting was 45 days.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think that's too long. I'm not opposed to early voting. But, if you're running for Congress, right, or Senate, you can afford to put a body down at the old town hall with a sign that says vote for, Mark Warner or whoever the hell.
Right.
But, if you're a local guy, gal running for city council, how do you because every vote counts. Right?
Oh, sure.
In the local office.
Yes.
The local elections. I mean, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, it's way too long. For me, it should be, I think what they should do, well, you couldn't do it in Virginia because, like you said, every 20 minutes we have an election for something.
Yeah.
But the main elections, make it a holiday. We already have 50 holidays anyway.
Right,
it's one more.
Right.
And, in-person voting, paper ballots.
I don't know. I don't have a beef with early voting.
But not 45 days.
But not 45 days.
Well, maybe 2 weeks ahead of time if you want to. Because I know some people, you work. It's hard. You work in D.C. It's hard to get back in time to vote. But
the other thing is, the registrar's office has to staff it.
Yep.
They have to have people there. It's 45 days. It's hard on the electoral guys because that's essentially a volunteer position.
Right. But then you look at what happened with the race that Stephen Kent jumped into.
Yeah.
That guy, I forget the gentleman's name who was running, but I guess he got transferred to another part of the country. So he had to give up, and it was too late for a new candidate. So
yeah,
that's part of it too.
Yeah, running a writing campaign is brutal.
It's hard. It's hard. I mean, Stephen he's such a. I wish people got to know him a little bit better because he's a very, very smart guy.
Oh yeah,
very smart. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Smokes a pipe. I've been over. I guess we'll talk about the clubhouse a little bit too. We got to talk about the clubhouse.
We can do that.
It's a place where a group of us called the Cattlemen get together and smoke cigars and might have an occasional little
snort some whiskey,
dram scotch.
Yeah.
But one thing about, let me say, the Cattlemen is so near and dear to my heart.
I know.
You're a cattleman.
Yeah,
I'm a cattleman.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It was just a group of guys that had gotten together. I think we figured we started in 2014. It was kind of an offshoot of what you were doing because you were getting together Fridays or something.
Yeah, Fridays for coffee. Well, that was when I was in office.
Right.
And so I would put it on Facebook or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, anyone that wants to show up and talk about something, I'm going to be at Ground Central at 8 o'clock or whatever. And off I went. And
I remember coming to a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided, hey, let's do something on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And we had the original 5, which was you, me, Rich Meyer, Ed Spall, and Bill Sebeski.
Yeah.
And then it kind of organically grew to 15 of us. And that's where I think we all decided that's it. We're not.
I think that, I don't know. I've heard some interesting stories from Rich about some of those that I missed where, there was a long discussion about quote unquote membership.
Yeah. What are the rules? And what we came up with is either A, it's a secret, or B, we don't know.
Right. Or both.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, there may or may not be rules, and that may or may not matter.
Right.
So
and some people think we solve the issues of the world. We address them. We don't solve anything. We address them.
Solves a stretch.
I can't remember the lady who named us. I think she went to school with you.
Oh, that was.
She just recently passed away a year ago. But like I said, we've been doing this since 2014. We have never missed a Saturday.
No.
There's always been somebody there, even through COVID.
Been a couple of close calls.
Yeah, there's always been somebody there. And I remember we were out at Ground Central. That's where we go. And we were outside having coffee. It was the summertime. And this lady walked up, walking her dog. And she said, "What the hell is this? You all look like some kinds of Cattlemen's Association." We said, "There it is.
That's what we are.
That's our name." And it's a great, diverse group, especially politically diverse. I mean, it's from one end to the other.
We have, hardcore Trumper guys. We have guys that are, our friend from Germany.
Oh yeah,
he's pretty liberal.
Yep. Yeah, but you know what? We all get along
as long as we don't talk about soccer for more than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No, that's a rule we do have.
Yeah, there's a couple heavies on that. Rich Meyer and I think Mark Olson.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to. Ed probably chimes in every now and then too.
Yeah.
We are not allowed to talk about soccer, which of course is near and dear to my heart. And Dr. Perez likes soccer, and Peter, we talked about English Premier League, and we usually get stopped pretty quick.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's 30 seconds. But it's a great group of guys. We have a couple dinners every year where we get together, drink wine, and have great food. Usually hosted over at Dr. Perez's house. Sit around the fire pit afterwards, and we're also in the Christmas parade. Yeah. Which is a lot of fun. That is so much fun.
It is.
And
you can hear people say, because we have a sign on the wagon, you hear people say, "Who are the cattlemen?"
And what do you do? And what do you all do? We always tell people we keep the cattle off the streets in Manassas.
Right. We're 100% successful.
That's right. Exactly. So that's a great group of guys. And like I said before, we do our Saturday mornings. Now we do, it's turned into almost an every Friday afternoon. Yeah. And what we call the clubhouse, which is at Rich Meyer's house. He's got I think his Victorian was built in 1905. Mm-hmm. And he's got a carriage house in the back. And maybe 3-4 years ago,
kind of dressed it up a little bit.
Me and Rich just got in there and just cleaned it out and brought in some leather chairs. He already had a leather couch in there. It's got a wood stove in there. And then when he retired, they gave him his leather chairs that he used.
Oh, is that where this came from?
Yep. When he was a lawyer, they gave them to him. And it's just a great, great venue. And it's the ultimate man cave.
It is. It's come a long way. The first time I went in there, this was back the Albrechts were still in Manassas on the regular. And we had these, Scott, Rich, and I would have these dinners where we decided we wanted to do the ultimate whatever. Mm-hmm. And we had one that night. And after that, he said, and it was cold. I mean, it was 10 degrees or something. And that wood stove's not that big. And that place is not insulated at all.
No.
So he had the wood stove going since noon. And it was about 40 degrees in there, 45 degrees. And we went back there. The guys retired to the clubhouse and sat out there and shivered. And, Scott had brought some fantastic cigars. So he had that. That was 2010, 12, somewhere right around.
Yeah, before it was cleaned out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the couch was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, that was the one thing about the clubhouse, no bathroom.
No, that becomes an issue sometimes. We'll take care of that.
Yeah, you can always go in the house.
But, back to the cattlemen, I'll name drop a few people, besides you and I, obviously, you have Rich, of course, our ex-mayor, Hal Parrish is a cattleman.
Yeah, he is.
John Foote. It's just a great group of guys.
Yeah, the dynamic is kind of unique. It can get a little edgy occasionally, but it's a group of guys that know how to, disagree without, it sounds trite, but they can disagree without being disagreeable.
Sure.
And they leave enough room in those conversations, except for when the lawyers get going. that can be a little much.
Oh yeah.
But it's just there's enough slack in that conversation that by and large there aren't really problems.
No, like you said, it gets heated every now and then, but you walk away friends.
Yeah. People are, especially in the current context, people are passionate about supporting Trump or not caring. Mm-hmm. Some of them are there, and they're passionate about just staying the hell out of it. Or, the guys on the other side.
Right.
And, that's not, I don't feel like it's a shock. No. But it's okay.
And it's become a group that's kind of known. Oh, you're cattlemen?
Yeah.
Oh, and, I know during past election seasons, we've actually had candidates ask if they could come and sit with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we sure, why
not?
Come and tell us what you do. What are your visions for the city? And that's been a good part too.
Yeah, I sat in on a couple of those, but and they're good. Especially for the local guys that have never run before. Mm-hmm. It's a good place for them to kind of get their feet under them, I feel like.
Right. Yeah, I remember I think the last person we had was Ashley, who's one of the newest city council ladies. We said, sure, come on over and talk to us. And she sat with us for about an hour, told us what she wanted to do, what her vision was. And I think she's doing a good job. I know Ashley from the construction world because she's I can't remember exactly what her position is, but she's not the director, but she's one of those people that does everything.
Does she work at HCCA?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
They were a client some years ago. I don't know. But no, I think that overall, I mean, I guess, somebody asked me, maybe it was Rich asked me on a podcast, like what I thought about the future of the city. What do you think? And I said, it's cloudy. The council has put some pretty hefty bets on the table, and for at least 2 or 3 of them without a very clear vision as to what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The Old Town Inn. Well, there's going to be a motel. Okay, well,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And have we thought that through? And I think the development community will help the council to the extent that they are engaged in that. Come up with something to do there. And I had Patrick Small on a couple of weeks ago, and he told me about buying Marsteller. And everyone just assumed like that was, if the city didn't buy it, it's just going to be houses or another giant gas station or whatever.
Right.
And he said there was some sort of covenant on that property where, it couldn't be developed that way. Now, I mean, with enough money, anything can happen,
sure.
Right? But, I still feel like it's cloudy. Yeah, there's some ball fields back there, and there's the community center, Marsteller, that.
Well, weren't they talking about putting a fire station there?
Yeah, that's on evidently
it's still on?
It's still on the plan.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a good thing. And like you said, the ball fields, because the one thing the city lacks is green space.
It does like green space.
We have a lot of fields.
I don't know that baseball fields, I think they probably need more rectangular fields.
Oh, I would agree.
Yeah, because, I mean, baseball, it's still, a uniquely American thing. And there's kids out there at E.G. Smith all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, most of the kids in the city are Latino.
Yeah, they're playing soccer.
They're playing soccer.
My sport.
Yeah. Your sport, yeah.
Sorry, Rich.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I played soccer for Manassas when I was a kid for probably, 6, 7 years.
Oh, yeah. No, I grew up
soccer and baseball.
I played baseball, football, but then it seemed like everybody I was running with at that time started playing soccer, so I started playing. And, I really enjoyed it, played all through high school. Could have gone on to play in college, but I fell in love and didn't go to college, went to community college.
Right.
So,
right.
But no, I agree. Rectangular fields is what they need.
So there's that. I don't know what they're going to do the rest of that. Mathis, that's the plans that I've seen for that.
Well, they've been talking about that for 25 years?
I was talking about when I was in council for sure.
Yeah.
But, I don't know that I would have supported actually buying the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand they want to control the outcomes. I get that. But, I don't love that it's going to be some sort of housing development.
Right.
Transportation in that area is already tough. And
don't get me started on the whole 28 thing because, the fact that the county supervisors, put the kibosh on that.
That was moronic.
I've always said, if you took the local politicians along with the state and feds and said, look, for 1 year, you have to drive 28 every morning.
Right.
At 6:30, and then you have to come back every evening at 4. That bypass would have been built 20 years ago.
100%.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't do it.
Well, I have always opposed that project, but for a very particular reason. Because when you siphon that, over here, kind of, over near where Ed lives, those are the main thoroughfares, like that run in front of the Dean, and those are divided 4-lane highways. They're quaint right now. right? There's kind of sleepy neighborhood roads.
Right.
You tap Godwin Drive in the 28, that you're going to see real traffic over there. Godwin, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going, you're going to have traffic going 45 miles an hour down that road because that's what it's built for.
Right.
I didn't love that aspect of the project, but I think that time has marched on.
Yeah.
Always pissed Hal off that I opposed that thing. And it's like we built all of the pieces of this project. Fairfax widened 28.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge is on a right-hand turn, so you don't have to worry about that. And we've widened 234.
Yeah.
And
for that reason.
We
thought it was happening.
Right. Same with 28.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that someone will craft something like, well, we always planned to do this. Bullshit. Godwin Drive Extended it's the only answer. Unless they're going to take the Parkway and extend it to the west side of Dulles, which Loudness said, no way. Right. So it was, but I hate that project because what I think it's going to do to that part of the city. But if the taxpayers are going to spend how many ever millions it took to do the prep work and we don't build the project, that's stupid. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, because, they talk about widening 28.
There's no way.
But I'm like, guys, there's this thing right in the middle of 28 called Old Town Manassas.
Yeah.
It won't work.
No.
You got to go around it.
No, and I don't know what it would cost to buy the right of way because they're going to have to buy dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But that really only gets you as far as Liberia?
Yeah.
That's it.
And the amount of money that would be spent on moving underground utilities, astronomical.
Yeah.
And it still wouldn't do what we needed to do.
Yeah. I mean, I remember right after I got elected, we were settling the last eminent domain claims from when we put in the turns lane on 28 in front of McDonald's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of it was breathtaking. A 3-foot wide strip in front of somebody's business, $28,000, $75,000. And, I don't fault those guys. Get what you can get.
Oh, sure.
But it's still public money. And I just don't think you can widen 28 up to Sudley. I don't think that's a thing.
No. And with Godwin, what they could have done, and my vision would, and I know it's money, obviously, is when it came to 234, put a bridge over it so there's no light. And then put a bridge over the railroad tracks like they did on 28, but on Godwin that goes over Wellington and the railroad tracks, and then tie it back into where 28 down by the airport.
Yeah, it's nutty that we would expend so much taxpayer money and not reap the benefit. Because, I mean, 28 widening in Fairfax, that comes to us, it's great, but it just makes it a wider parking lot. Yeah. Because the bridge.
Now, going out in the morning's not as bad.
Not as bad.
But coming back in the evening, forget it. I stay so far clear of that place. Yeah. Anytime after like 2:30 or 3 until about 7. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Danica told me that she came on the podcast, I don't know, a month and a half ago. She told me that she had some adjustments to 28 that were already fully funded that would help. I'm not really familiar with it, but it seemed like the stuff she described, it couldn't hurt. Mm-hmm. So all for that. But yeah, the whole killing that off. And there's just literally no way to fix Liberia. No. It's not possible.
Nope. Weren't they talking about a bypass on the other side?
Oh, on the Manassas Park side?
Well, I guess over by the Prince William Parkway, that side. I don't know where they would tie it in on 28. Yeah. But that's always an option too. But it's a mess. Traffic's a mess. Now, the good thing is I know they're getting ready to start a bridge over Prince William Parkway at Sudley Manor, or it's in the works.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because that's another nightmare.
Yeah, it
is. Go that way at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, especially coming in from 66.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
No.
I mean, I think as the city manager told me they're considering putting in like a 4th turn lane from 28 to Liberia. Mm-hmm. Is there 2 or 3 now? They were going to add one more. Well, how many ever?
I think there's 2 right now.
Yeah, they were going to add a 3rd turn lane. Yeah. I don't know where that real estate comes from.
Right.
But, I mean, that's a problem. I don't even think that will fix it. I really don't.
Getting back to, you mentioned the city. One of our members, I'll leave him nameless right now, threw a little bit of a bomb at our coffee last week, talking about, can the city afford to be a city anymore? I've been, I'll be honest. I've been saying,
that's been your thing for a while.
Maybe we need to revert to being a town and let the county take back over because, like our property taxes.
They're outrageous.
We're at $1.26. County's at 98 cents. That's like 27, 28%.
It's outrageous. For what I pay here in 2 months, can pay my taxes for a year down in Westmoreland County.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, I know that there's, things have changed a lot here. You call the ambulance here, you get an ambulance or a police officer.
Oh, sure.
In minutes.
Absolutely.
Now, down in Colonial Beach, it could be 20 minutes.
Right. Our police and fire are fantastic.
Yeah.
I know we've had a few blips here lately with electricity, but I think overall
electricity is definitely a problem.
Yeah. But, the guys that work on it are great.
I think it's just a wider issue. Some of the recent issues have been out of control of the Manassas.
Right.
But, we went for a long time with steady problems in Old Town until they put that replacement substation or temporary or whatever the hell it is. But the budget Manassas is an expensive place to live.
It is.
And, I don't know how the city council, on one hand, says, we want affordable housing. And on the other hand, cranks the tax rate up 8 to 10% a year. Mm-hmm. That's not how you get affordable housing unless the city's going to go into the housing business,
right? Which
I think would be an unmitigated disaster. Mm-hmm. Municipal housing it's a challenging thing to do. Mm-hmm. And our government, no different than any others. I'm not saying they're bad people or they're dumb.
No, of course not.
It's just not their wheelhouse.
Right.
But I don't see how you do that. And I guess you could JV with a developer and come up with some units that are, affordable or attainable or whatever word they want to use. Maybe that's something you could do, but it's still going to cost the citizens money.
Yeah. And it's tough because the developer's not going to come in unless he can make money.
Well, sure.
And I know over, the new townhouse development down Prince William Street, I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
But, those townhouses were going like to start like $600,000. You can afford, can a teacher afford that or a police officer?
Hell no.
No.
Well, I had thought for whatever reason that like a townhouse in GTS would be about $250. Mm-hmm. $400.
Yeah.
And
they're only going to go up.
That's unbelievable.
Because the new development across the street,
right,
which looks great. We're all super happy that's going on.
Yeah.
That's actually going to make the Georgetown South townhouses more expensive because people are going to start moving there because it's a little bit cheaper than across the street.
Right.
And, hopefully everything gets fixed up nice. They take care of their yards, all this kind of stuff. But they're just going to keep on going up.
Well, and the taxpayers, the city has invested millions of taxpayer dollars into that Georgetown South or Grant Avenue streetscape project, which is still half a lane too narrow.
It is. I always thought since they built that the median could have been a little narrower because there's some parts there when a truck goes down that road and you're parked on the side, you're probably going to lose a mirror.
Well, my thought was, what happens when I'm sitting there and, I'm not driving a Jeep or a big pickup truck and a fire engine comes roaring up behind me.
Yeah.
And, because if you look at it in between the street lights, there's usually a couple of trees. Mm-hmm. Well, if you want to, you'd have to drive over the curb up onto the walking path.
Yeah.
To get out of the way.
Or into the median.
And, some people might be okay with that. But if I had a sedan, I'm not doing it.
No.
And I don't know that if I had a Jeep, that I would do it.
Right.
Because, I know there's a 100% chance I get in trouble for running over the tree. Or, there are people walking on the sidewalk, I think that was a real miss. I don't love the roundabout, but, I think that the big problem with the design was the width of the lanes. Cause, further north on Grant, you could pull over and a fire engine could probably buy.
Oh yeah. Over on the north side.
Yeah.
It's basically 2 lanes.
Yeah.
So you got plenty of room to pull over.
But
the one, this will be kind of funny. One of my really big pet peeves is what I call, or what it is called, mulch volcanoes.
Oh yeah.
And that new part of Grant, every single tree they planted, they put a mulch volcano.
Yeah.
And to the people listening here, that's when you pile the mulch up
it looks like
around the base of the tree. And first of all, trees don't need mulch. And secondly, when they do it, if you do it right, it's okay. But what happens is year after year after year, the people that come in and do the landscaping, you're supposed to pull the old mulch out,
right,
and put new mulch in.
They just put more on.
They put more and more and more, and it kills the trees.
Yeah.
And I was on a job site when I was a superintendent, and I was talking to the Fairfax arborist, and I talked to her about that, and she said that's putting mulch around a tree like that is equivalent to putting a blanket over your face and saying you need to breathe, and you can't.
Right.
You can't, and it kills the tree. The tree lasts about 25% of its lifetime, but the landscaping company, doesn't bother them because they could sell the city or whoever a new tree.
Right.
So anyway,
the trees over there are pretty small too.
Well, they are, but there are a few big ones.
Oh yeah.
More towards the south end, but yeah, it just, I don't know why it bothers me so much. Maybe it's because I'm a gardener and I like trees. But you go down Ashton Avenue, both in the city and in the county, and you can see so many trees that have either already died or are dying.
Yeah.
It's because of those mulch volcanoes. Anyway, that's side
pet peeve. Yeah, it's city. One of the things I do wonder is why we never took a run at having precincts.
Yeah.
With different representatives for each precinct.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that makes a lot of sense. I mean,
Right.
Larry Hughes, when I was first elected, always thought that the city was going to be sued by the federal government for not having adequate representation for different parts. I don't remember all of those justifications, but it does seem to me like as the city has grown, there are definitely discrete areas.
Oh, sure.
And I think that we should probably take a look at doing that.
But how would you do that?
Well, you basically
referendum? Would you have to put it on the ballot one year?
Probably a referendum. Talk to Steve Hirsch, get that done.
All right, Steve, you heard that.
But I think that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
That way you do ensure adequate representation for different people.
Mm-hmm.
We have somebody from GTS that's on the council, but, for a long time, I don't think we did. And, were those people being adequately represented by the members of the council? It's an unanswerable question.
Mm-hmm.
Or, Point of Woods, right? I think that'd be a good idea.
Oh, I do too.
But I don't think that the current city council is going to be a champion of that effort. If I was there, I probably would. But it does make a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Because those places are, they're very different. The problems in Point of Woods are a lot different than the problems in Old Town.
Right. And then you have what we used to call Pill Hill, where all the doctors live, and Park Avenue and all that.
Yeah. The problems there are certainly different from, Georgetown South, something like that. So to me, that makes a lot of sense, but I don't feel passionately enough about it to pick it up as a cause.
Right.
Because it probably does require a referendum.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
Just like, we talked about earlier with the Treasurer and Commissioner of Revenue.
Yeah.
That would probably have to be a referendum.
Yeah. And I know. That takes organizing. That takes a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get signatures first.
You have to get like 1,000 signatures or something just to get it on the ballot.
Yeah, you got to get it on the
1,000, doesn't seem like a big number, but when you're going door to door.
Yeah.
And having a lot of doors slammed in your face.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah. Well, plus you'd probably also be facing headwinds from current electeds.
Right.
Who are like, I don't want to shake up or some of them might support it.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty secure where they are and they're in, Point of Woods and, I think this is a great idea. I wouldn't have to compete with all those other council members.
Right.
I have my own little.
Yeah, you'd have a couple people running for that precinct.
Yeah, you probably would. But I think that makes a lot of sense. The reason I didn't think it made much sense, in 2010, somewhere around there, is I just didn't feel like there was enough momentum there.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I was first elected, everyone talked about how the city was completely built out. And, how many thousands of people have we added?
Oh, yeah. And still adding.
I mean, they're going full tilt on that project across from Georgetown South, which looks pretty good, by the way.
It does. And we all agree on that. It was kind of a dump before.
It was shady.
So now it looks really nice.
Yeah.
And I do like the streetscape. We can agree that the lanes probably need to be a little bit wider, but I think it'll definitely benefit the city.
I think so. And like I said, I don't want to always pound on that project, but
no, there's a lot of good things going on in the city.
Yeah,
we got some good folks. I think Steve, the new city manager, great. I met Steve when he worked in Luray. He was the town manager there.
Right.
Great guy. I think he's going to do an awesome job.
Yeah, he came on the podcast. I think it's going up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I spent an hour and a half with him, and he's an interesting guy.
Mm-hmm.
He does like to talk about like the municipal project stuff, and
right.
I think that's what he's
And he also does a nice job on LinkedIn.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he does.
I'll have to chase him down.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't strike me as a LinkedIn guy.
Yeah, he puts stuff, and it's mostly just things that are going around the city. Hey, we're having a festival this weekend, or it's First Friday, or whatever. But he definitely is on there, and I try to at least give him a like or a little bit of a comment.
Yeah. Well, he's I guess I always thought that he was a little bit of an unusual choice to me, but after spending time chatting with him, I think he's certainly capable.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan.
Yeah. I wish that I could get more of the city leadership to come on the podcast, because I think people, if they listen to these discussions, they'll learn a lot about them.
Mm-hmm.
I sat down, I had a fantastic conversation with Tom Osina.
Oh, Tom's a good dude. I really like Tom a lot. He does his homework. He knows what he's talking about.
He does do his homework.
Yes. And that's all I ask in a representative. Just do a little homework, know what you're talking about.
I mean, even the ones, I don't imagine Tom and I would agree on a ton.
Well, sure, I'm the same way, but he's a good guy.
He does the work.
Yes.
No doubt about it. And I feel that way mostly about the local elected guys that I've had on.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get some of the elected leadership to come on, but have had no success so far. But
we'll keep trying.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. It's a time thing, right? I almost got our House of Delegates person to come on, but she had to reschedule a couple of times, and I said, let's just drop it until all of this election stuff is over.
Right.
I'm sure it just consumes her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Danica's running this time. I don't think so.
No.
So I did get an hour and a half of her time, and that was interesting. She also does her own work.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and Patrick Small, I enjoyed that discussion. There's a lot of information on that one. Like the fact that I did not know that Merrifield Gardens went for $4 million an acre.
Yes.
That changes a lot.
I think somebody told me they spent $17 million on the property 10 years ago, whenever they built that place, and I think they sold it for $164. How can you say no? If somebody comes and says, I'm going to give you $164 million, where do I sign?
You probably clear, after taxes and all that crap, you probably clear $100 million.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's generational wealth.
That is generational wealth. Yeah. And you don't ever want to work a day in your life.
Yeah. And neither will your kids.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I get it. Those guys that on Pageland Lane that, I mean, that's not approved yet, I don't guess. It's still in court, I think. But that's a lot of money for all those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand both sides because, it's near the battlefield and you don't want to mess up all that because they are ugly. I mean, let's face it.
They're ugly. But this one over here, they've painted so it looks like it has windows.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, when you're at that stoplight at the bottom of the bridge, you're kind of like, those aren't windows.
How many more, Andy? How many more are we going to build in the city? I mean, there's only a certain amount of room.
So until I heard about that Merrifield deal, I did not think that there was, I mean, anything can happen, right? The city's got a pretty big parcel of land out by the airport that would fit a data center, but they need to hold out for commercial. But I think, at $4 million an acre, like where my business is, it's a 1-story office park. At $4 million an acre, it's probably what, 5 acres? $20 million.
Yeah.
Show me where to sign.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just, it's a steady, well, these are all condos, so they're all independently owned. But, if they were rentals, it's just long-term, slow burn, income from rentals. But if you could get everybody here to sign off of it and you were going to get a piece of $20 million, I mean, even if it's $1 million each, I can move my business someplace else also.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Just like Merrifield did.
Yeah. Well, and there's some industrial stuff out by the airport. There's some 1-level offices out there. There's a couple of newer 2-story flex like warehouse stuff at $4 million an acre.
Oh, I know a guy that I deal with in the networking industry for these events I go to. I won't say their business, but big time construction guy, earth moving.
Yeah.
And he had just built a beautiful, beautiful new office with a shop facility, thing over there kind of near Jiffy Lube Live. And they came a calling and he said, where do I sign?
Jiffy Lube Live.
Yeah.
I mean,
how long is that going to be there?
Not long. I guess it might last 1 season.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, that money is just so crazy.
Yeah. It's only you get more.
Yeah.
It's only $4 million now. What is it going to be next year? 5, 6?
Yeah. I think that I'd be surprised if Jiffy Lube lasts more than 1 more season. I really would. It's just such an obvious, and the county, it's raining money on Prince William County.
Yeah. That's why their tax rate's 98 cents.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
trying to go lower. That's why I'm hoping the city might have a few more and our tax rate will go down.
I don't anticipate it going down.
I don't either.
I just don't.
Unfortunately. All I ask is, if you're going to pay higher taxes, I just want some bang for my buck.
Yeah.
I want the medians to be beautiful. I want my street to be paved. I've been complaining about that for a long time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my street, the nicest part of the street is the new patch they put in front of my house when they built, they had to come and repair a water line leak.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with the condition of the city. They do a pretty good job, but the taxes just keep going up, and it's a problem. And you have to pretty much, I wouldn't say you have to be wealthy to live here, but you have to have some money.
Well, we have a couple friends who shall name or remain nameless. We were talking about this the other night, and they pay $1,100 a month just in taxes, property taxes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
almost my dad pays almost that much.
Yeah, well, they live next to your dad.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, that bill just came, and I almost had a heart attack. But it kind of is what it is. It's not like there's a cheaper place. Prince William County, I guess the bills would be lower, but if you want to live in the city and take advantage of city things, and the key element here is that the people that are raising the taxes every year keep getting reelected. So the citizens seem to be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that.
A majority.
Either that or they just don't know.
Well, they don't know, and that's one of the reasons I started this. There's no local newspaper, there's no Journal Messenger, right?
I really miss that paper.
Yeah. Well, I've told this story more than once. I wrote that damn blog for 8 years. I poured a fair amount of energy into it, trying to explain things to people.
Mm-hmm.
And the Journal Messenger could print, an article that's, one column, yay tall, 6 inches tall, about a public meeting about whatever, and people would flock to the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I could try the same thing on my blog and I get 6 people.
Yeah.
It had reach.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way anymore to know about people or about what's going on short of going to the meetings. That doesn't scale.
Yeah.
And, getting an email notice from the city about something or something in my, utility bill, that's not it.
Right.
So I don't know.
But, to switch gears a little bit, I mean, I really do love Old Town.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gem. And I try when I'm out at my evening events, people ask me, hey, where do you live? And, when I say Manassas, there's sometimes a negative reaction.
Yeah.
But they're talking about, there's so many areas around Old Town, around the city that are Manassas. I mean, it goes all the way up to the battlefield, all the way
to
down.
Hoagland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have this gem,
Old Town,
with all the fantastic restaurants, Sinistral Brewery, which is near and dear to my heart because that's my wife's cousin.
Right.
That owns that, Dwayne and Stacy. There's some great things. The first Fridays are great. I'm there every single first Friday.
Years ago we had Urban Land Institute come and do a study of Old Town
Mm-hmm.
and ways that we can improve it, or maybe we could extend it, maybe even to like Manassas or something. And the report basically came back and said, what are you doing? Why are you screwing with this? There's some things you can do, but you should not, go hog wild in here because what you have is priceless.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And when these people I talk to finally get to Old Town and experience the first Friday, they're going, oh my God, I never knew this was here.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, this is my home. We, like I said earlier, we're so close we can walk to everything.
And we do.
And I'm so happy about the Annenberg Manor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping they do something neat with that. I thought they could do some kind of little, I don't know if people are familiar with it, but it'd be a great place to have you can have little concerts there.
Mm-hmm.
In that, the circle in front of it.
Yeah.
You could do something like that. And I know there's a plan out there to make it into a big park. I'd like to see maybe if they could acquire the whole block. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, I don't imagine that's for sale. All right, Jimmy. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, absolutely. This was great, Andy. I really appreciate it. And thank you for letting me yap for an hour.
Yeah, no worries.